I really wanted an excuse to talk, to rant, to complain, to ramble about all of my current and past hyperfixations I've had over the last couple of years. And so, this is the idea I came up with. We're going to be ranking all of my hyperfixations from like the last 7-ish years. We're going to be going all the way back. I have put very little thought and or preparation for this. I don't have a script. I don't even have guide notes. I just have listed what fandoms or shows or whatever the hell I want to talk about written down on the list, and I'm just gonna let myself have free range to ramble. So we're just gonna jump straight on into it.
So first up, we have Undertale. Now, I got into Undertale a little bit late. For some reason, I missed the whole hype train for the game when it first released, and I didn't really get into it till late 2018. So most people were already kind of done and moved on. So when I finally discovered the beauty of this game, there was nobody around to talk to me about it. And what's worse is that Undertale is known for having just a crazy amount of fan content and fan AUs. And I couldn't figure out any of the fan AUs. I tried so hard. I was so desperate to be included, but I was just too late, and I just could never catch up with them. I wanted to understand the billions of different Sanses, blue, ink Sans, air Sans. I don't know who they are, but I really wanted to. But no, I never figured it out. So while I never got to experience the fandom and the joys and the creations of the fandom, I still got a little bit of a taste. I got to enjoy the normal game. But say what you want about the Undertale fandom, but they can make some cool ass shit. Even if I was not in the loop, I still was enjoying it. The fun fan comics, the art, the cosplays, the fan music. In order for me to stay in a fandom very long, I need stuff to feed the fixation. So once I'm done with the main content, I need there to be a big supply of fan content to keep me going. And the Undertale fandom kept me fed. They had me covered. So 10 out of 10, no complaints. I love Undertale. It's still an amazing game. I got to play it recently. I still haven't beaten it, but I played it. I'm gonna put this in B tier for 1 billion of different Sanses. Nice. Next one. Star Wars. Star Wars. I was psychotic about this shit. Now, I grew up watching Star Wars, and when it was announced that my favorite show of all time as a kid growing up, The Clone Wars was getting one last final season, I was ecstatic. I thought it'd be fun to go back and rewatch all of Star Wars in preparation. And this single decision shaped my personality for over a year. I got stupidly fixated on the Clone Wars and prequel era of Star Wars, with all the Jedi and when they're at war with the droid army. Loved that shit. That's where I lived. People would talk to me about other things and I wouldn't care. It's sorry, do you know what Star Wars is? Why are you telling me to go to school? I have to watch Star Wars. But this being so obsessed with that era of Star Wars works out, because the Clone Wars is some of the best Star Wars media out there, and there's 7 seasons, so many episodes to keep me entertained. And once I was done with the show, I got to go and venture out into the fandom. Now, Star Wars has one of the most rancid fan bases out there, and I will stand by this statement till the day I die. Star Wars is a very large, very mainstream franchise, so the fan base is very big and very diverse, because everyone can like Star Wars. Everyone can find something in Star Wars to enjoy. And this makes it a wonderful space to be a part of, but it also makes it awful. The fan base is kind of known for harassing POC and women actors, and like chasing them off the internet if they don't like whatever movie or show they were in. And that's so like messed up. But again, you know, the fan base is very large, so you can enjoy it and interact with the franchise online without even having to interact with like the rampant Star Wars man babies, and just have a very, very good time. And that's what I did. I found myself in some very, very welcoming and sweet communities back in the day. A tier for Ahsoka's the best character. Okay, this is a little bit of a weird one, but Disneyland, like the theme park, the Disney theme park, this was like an offshoot of my Star Wars fixation. My Star Wars fixation was like at its peak when Star Wars Land, like this themed area at Disneyland was being like opened, and I became like so obsessed with the idea of a Star Wars theme park at Disneyland that I completely ditched the Star Wars fixation, and I just became so entranced by the inner workings of the theme park. But I was really obnoxious about it. I would spend all day watching Disney vlogs and drawing different outfits I could wear to Disneyland. We're putting this in D tier because D for Disney adult. God damn it. During quarantine, Avatar: The Last Airbender had a huge resurgence of popularity when it got added to Netflix. So I watched the show for the first time, and I didn't like it. I enjoyed it. Like, it was objectively a good show. But for some reason, I just couldn't get into it. And the only reason I finished that show was because my friend was watching it with me and made me watch it. But after finishing the series, I saw like Legend of Korra on Netflix, and I was like, oh my god, do you want to watch this next? This could be like our next like show we binge. Only for my friend to be like, no, I hate that show, I don't want to watch that. I don't know what possessed me, but I decided to watch it alone, even after like not really enjoying like the main series. And I fell in love with this show. I loved this show so much. I was obsessed. Favorite shit like ever. But, you know, no one else can see the show's beauty like I did. Sorry, Aang. C for can't find anyone else who likes this show more than Avatar. Alright, next up we have the Owl House. So in the fandom, there's a joke in the fandom how people are given this amazing like LGBT stories and just an awesome representation, but the fandom's all obsessed with the little white boy that gets introduced. Now, I watched the first season of the show and I was like, hell yeah, you know, this is a cute show, but I didn't really become like crazy about it until the second season, where I didn't get fixated on the show, but I got fixated on Hunter, the white boy. Yes, I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed of myself. You don't need to tell me, okay? I love my little sad child soldier. I'm sorry. C tier for the show got canceled. Okay, next up, Ninjago. I love this stupid show. My little Lego toy commercial. It's so stupid, but like it's also like really fun and charming. I grew up watching it, and I think I stopped after like the 5th season, and then 6 years later, you know, I'm almost an adult, I discovered that the show never stopped like being produced, and they kept making seasons, and there was now like 15 seasons of Ninjago, and so I had to watch them all, and I did, and I became super crazy about the Lego show, and they're still making it. Like, this was back in like 2020, and they're still making it, and I'm still eating it up. I love them. In fact, I made like all my friends watch like the show and movies, and because they are so sweet and they support my special interest, my friends went to Legoland with me, and we all dressed up as each of the 4 main ninjas. And yes, we did get a lot of weird looks from parents, being a group of like 20-year-olds alone at Legoland, dressed up as ninjas, but the staff all loved us and our stupid ninja outfits. They thought it was fun, so bleh. S tier for sneaky ninjas. I love this show. Aphmau. For those of you who don't know who Aphmau is, or like what that is, Aphmau is a Minecraft YouTuber who used to make Minecraft roleplays back in the day. She stopped making them around like 2019, but by that time she had been making them for like years at this point. Like, this is like one of those things I was like really into as like a kid, you know, like 10, 12. But for some reason, like I got like super nostalgic for it and rewatched all of them back in 2022. And the nostalgia and like the like passionate love I had for it as like a 10-year-old, it like re-sparked that old like fixation. I became like weirdly obsessed with it. The Minecraft roleplays, this is my Roman Empire. They've had a grip on me for like 10 years now. And just like at VidCon this year, she announced that they're bringing it back for a new season. So 12-year-old me is freaking out. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Back in 2020, I like made this whole rewrite and redesigns for it. So like, you know, maybe I'll bring it back out. Maybe I'll bring them out and I'll make a video about it. I'm begging you, please bring back Minecraft Diaries. I would do anything. Please. All right, next one, sticking with the Minecraft roleplays, the Dsmp. I really debated whether I wanted to even include this in this video, but I decided it was too big of a fixation to exclude from this ranking. And, you know, I really liked the Dsmp. I still really do. Like, I look back on it very fondly. But I think I should, like, explain a little bit what the Dsmp actually is, because if you weren't into the Dsmp, it's kind of confusing from, like, an outside perspective, and I want to talk about it. So the Dsmp was a Minecraft server made in 2020. Originally, the server was just, like, a Minecraft world where a couple of creators would just play Minecraft, you know, just normal Minecraft for fun. That eventually turned into a scripted roleplay with like 30 plus members acting out different stories and each their own like different characters. It was crazy. Each streamer played like a different role and had like their own perspective on the story, and the story got crazy. Like I didn't get into like the server series, the story. I don't know. I didn't get into it until like early 2021, and the story was like going strong even after a year. I think the story had like a really good run, and it created like really strong platforms for a lot of the different creators so they can go on and create new things, which a lot of them I'm still following. I personally follow Tmnt, Technoblade, and Filza's storylines in the Dsmp. Those were always my favorite. I was definitely an SBI girl, but you know, that's neither here nor there. And you know, the Dsmp fandom always got like a really bad rap, which yeah, it kind of deserved it at times. The fandom got like really big really fast, and it was a lot at times. You know, it was a lot of like very young people that were into it. The fandom was at its peak during the pandemic, and yeah, the fandom was like pretty like chronically online, so it got a little weird. I really enjoyed my time in this fandom and in this space. I met just so many really nice and creative people, and I loved my time there. Like, I was in this fandom for almost like 3 years, and oh my god, it was a trip. I would love one day just to make a video dedicated solely talking about the Dsmp and the impact it had online and on like so many fans that were into it. So yes, while the Dsmp like has its flaws, and like I used to be like super embarrassed to talk about it because I was just embarrassed by liking it, because it was kind of like the joke of the internet for a while, and it still kind of is. And while I don't support some of the content creators that were involved with it, I don't regret taking part at all. I still look back like really fondly on it, and it means a lot to me, and I miss it, you know. It was fun. So this is gonna go in S tier for my stupid Minecraft roleplay. Okay, next up we have
Monster High / fashion dolls.
This is a fixation that I didn't really like realize it was a fixation until I had like a million dolls. Like, it started out with me and my friend one day at Walmart, saw a really cute doll, and you know, we were having a hard day, so we decided to each get one. And then it all went downhill from there. I became obsessed with Rainbow High, a brand of like really cute fashion dolls surrounded by like a bunch of girls going to like an art high school. They were cute. I still love them. I have so many. Look at all my girls. And then right around the time I got into collecting Rainbow High dolls, is when G3 of Monster High started releasing dolls, and before I knew it, I was also collecting them and watching all the movies and the show and like becoming like crazy about Monster High. Like that was like Monster. I wasn't allowed to watch Monster High as a kid, so like I had to catch up. You know, I missed out on the hype back in like what 2012 when they first started coming out. So yeah, before I knew it, I had all these I had a ridiculous amount of dolls, and I wanted to spend every waking moment looking at them and talking about them and like watching for new drops. C tier for collecting dolls is taking all of my money.
We're gonna talk about Fnaf. I love Fnaf. God, Fnaf is just like so fun. Okay, so as a young child, I was too scared to play Fnaf, too scared to watch it or even like just look at it. And one summer I went to go stay with my cousin, and she was like super into Fnaf. And all she wanted to talk about was Fnaf. And I was like, hey, whatever, cool, okay, Fnaf. This is weird. And I went home. And so the next year, I was going to go stay with her again. And I decided that I really wanted to have something in common to talk to her about with. So I decided that I was going to catch up on all the lore of Fnaf, watch all the games so I could have a like talking point to fall back on. And so I sat and I watched hundreds of hours of MatPat and Markiplier. Like I was taking notes and everything. I was dedicated. And then I accidentally like genuinely got like really into it, and it was no longer for my cousin. I just like fell in love with it. And by the time I got to go see her again and stay with her, I was like super excited to talk to you about FNAF. But she wasn't into it anymore. But unlike my cousin, I just never grew out of it. My love for FNAF is here to stay. So yeah, here I am with almost a decade-old interest now. From the time of like FNAF Help Wanted to like Security Breach, my like love for the game is kind of like was at like its all-time low. And like Help Wanted is an amazing game. It just didn't like catch my attention for some reason. And Security Breach was just such a letdown at the time. I wanted so badly to love it, but it just didn't have the same spark of FNAF, you know? It didn't hit me. And I wouldn't like feel that like passion for FNAF until FNAF Ruin came out, where I then became like obsessed with specifically like the Security Breach era of FNAF. Like to the point where I went out of my way to play the entirety of Ruin and Security Breach. And I don't play video games. In fact, like I actually like hate playing games. I much rather just sit and watch someone else play it. But the fixation pushed me to sit down and finish that hot mess of a game. And I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I became like obsessed with Glamrock Freddy to like an unhealthy amount. I don't know what happened. I couldn't tell you. S tier. S tier for Springtrap. This next one might get like a little bit mean. Hazbin Hotel. I love this show, but I also really hate it. I love the characters and the world, but I really think season 1 dropped the ball. After waiting almost like 5 years for the show to release after the pilot, it was kind of a letdown. The story was rushed. The characters didn't have very meaningful arcs or growth. I think the fandom and everyone that like loves the show is so passionate about it, but it like hurts my soul to see like these people be so passionate about the show, but the like show itself is giving them nothing. Absolutely nothing. I have met so many amazing fans at cons, and they are all so passionate about this show, and it just, you know, it sucks that it couldn't have been everything that everyone hoped it would have been. But, you know, I do really like this show. I adore it. I've made countless amount of fan arts for it. I've dedicated like a video to it, and I have like 3 more coming that I'm working on. I love this show very, very much. I think the animation's beautiful. I think that, again, the characters and the world is so fun and so interesting. And it's a musical. I love musicals. It could have been so much more than what it is. There's some really talented people working on it, and I know they could have made
so much better if they were just given a little bit more time than 8 episodes of just rushing through. D tier for the really dumb show that I really, really love. Next one. This one's a little bit of a weird one. Hatsune Miku. Which I know, like, saying that probably doesn't sound weird, but in context to my relationship with it, it's a little weird. Like, growing up, I was never really into Vocaloid music, but I always, like, really, really liked Miku. I thought she was cute, and I just loved her. I don't know why. But fast forward to 2024, I thought it'd be really fun to go to Miku Expo, even though, like, I've never listened to Miku. Like, I've heard, like, the classic, everyone knows Miku songs, but I've never really listened to Vocaloid. And so I went, and I fell in love. I became obsessed with Vocaloid. I became obsessed with Miku like never before. She put on that good of a show. And I love this woman. I love her silly songs. I love her, like, cute little dances she does on stage. But there wasn't much, like, content, you know, outside of, like, the music. Fan content here and there. There wasn't a lot. So it was a very, like, short-lived fixation. But it was fun. D tier for my beautiful dancing, singing queen. Okay, this next one's gonna be fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is my current obsession. I love the turtles. I don't know how it's taken me this long to get into TMNT, because this is like right up my alley. This is the shit I eat up. As a kid, I saw these guys and I swore I would never watch or interact with them. They freaked me out so bad. You know, during, like, the end of, like, my Dream SMP phase, other fans kept telling me, oh, hey, you should watch Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It has a lot of, like, similar family dynamics to, like, the, like, SBI side of the fandom had, you know? And I blatantly refused to. Wouldn't watch it because I swore off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as, like, a 12-year-old. But last month, I was sitting with nothing to do, nothing to watch, and so I was like, yeah, you know, I'm feeling brave, I'll watch it. And I loved it. It was so good, which I knew I probably would, but I was being stubborn. And I very, very quickly finished the whole series and the movie, and I've now branched out into watching all of the other versions of the Turtles. If you haven't seen Rise of the Tmnt, and you just like high-quality animated shows, please go watch it. You won't regret it. And if you're a Tmnt fan that skipped over this iteration, you're missing out. It's legit one of the best shows I've watched in a really, really long time. It's a great show. I love the stupid family of turtles, and I love all the other versions of the Turtles. I'm slowly making my way through, and this may be a little biased because I'm currently into it, and I'm blinded by my fixation, but S tier. S for Turtles. Woo! And with that, I think that's all the hyperfixations I'm going to talk about today. I have been talking for well over an hour now. We're going to see how much I'm going to be able to cut out of this video, because, oh my god. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope you got something out of all this, because I know I sure did. If you like any of the things previously stated before, or even if you, like, really hate them, let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about them. Any excuse to talk about my favorite things, I would love to take. Even if it's defending it, or just listening to your complaints. Talk to me about it. Let me hear it. If you liked any of these things, you should check out my Etsy shop. Chances are I have some art drawn of it. Or if you just want to look at my art, check out my Instagram. But with that self-promotion out of the way, thank you for watching. Bye.